on a minor drug arrest. And tonight his family remembers him after learning that 7 Collin County, Texas detention officers have been fired.
He was a people person, very laid back, very easygoing.
He was extremely intelligent, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can. If we needed something and we were unsure, you go to Marvin. He was like a walking encyclopedia.
Those officers were fired for their role in allegedly restraining Scott, using pepper spray on him and putting a hood over his head, all while his family says he may have been suffering a mental health emergency. News Nation correspondent Marky Martin talked with Scott's family. She joins us live in Collin County, just outside of Dallas. Marky. Yeah, good evening, Ruta Bay. We're just outside of Dallas where public outrage has absolutely ignited following Scott's death. He was arrested on a drug possession charge. And today, earlier this afternoon, I spoke with his parents. This is what they had to say. This was Marvin Scott III. Photos and videos of the late 26-year-old now cover his family and attorney's social media pages.
He was kind and very sweethearted, very responsible. He's just an amazing son. And I'm so glad to have had him 26 years.
His parents, Lysandra and Marvin Scott Jr., say their son was arrested in March outside an outlet mall in Allen, Texas, about 20 miles north of Dallas, on a drug possession charge, suspected of smoking a joint and smelling like weed. In a press conference, the Collin County Sheriff said Scott was transported to the county jail, where he began exhibiting, quote, strange behavior. Detention officers placed him on a restraint bed, used pepper spray, and covered him with a spit mask. Later that night, Scott was pronounced dead at an area hospital.
We had our own autopsy done, and the autopsy revealed that he died from asphyxiation as a direct result from restraint.
With the excitement and the pepper spray and just a combination of all of those things, Marvin was healthy.
Scott's death sparking nightly protests across North Texas.
No justice!
Several memorials set up in his honor.
Marvin Scott the third!
On Monday, 7 detention officers linked to Scott's arrest and in-custody death were fired by the sheriff. An 8th resigned. In a statement to News Nation, Sheriff Jim Skinner said this: evidence I have seen confirms that these detention officers violated well-established sheriff's office policies and procedures. Everyone in Collin County deserves safe and fair treatment, including those in custody at our jail. I will not tolerate less. The family and their attorney, Lee Merritt, who's also running for Texas Attorney General, say Scott was schizophrenic and experiencing an episode at the time of his arrest, telling News Nation their gentle giant of a son needed medical help, not time behind bars, labeling the terminations as a step in the right direction, but calling on who they have named the Collin County 7 to be arrested.
It happens more often to us as Black people. You hear about it all the time, and you say, oh, that's so sad. How can they do that? But when it happens to you, it's devastating.
And the Scotts laid their son to rest yesterday in their hometown of St. Louis. Can also tell you at this time the names and faces of those 7 or 8 detention officers have yet to be released. The Texas Rangers are still investigating this case, and the official autopsy from the medical examiner's office is still pending. Now it's
all right, y'all. So you heard that. So this is a follow-up from Marvin D. Scott III, who was killed in custody by 7 officers that detained him over weed. You know, nobody in America at this point in time should be getting arrested for weed. I said this before and I say it again. You know, this is just an excuse to nab any Black man off the street and put him behind bars. And how the hell do you kill someone in custody and you just smell weed on them? Okay, how the hell do you kill someone in custody over that? I mean, this is just outrageous, the things that go on in America. This is outrageous. This 26-year-old is gone over some weed, and weed is legalized now in many states in America, and they're still picking people up for weed. You know, to me, as soon as you start legalizing it, you should have left all these weed arrests alone. But see, they can't get you on anything else. So they go to something like this. And it's ridiculous. And 7 officers getting fired, that's nothing. If Marvin would have killed them, he would have been in jail for life or possibly put on death row. But if an officer kills unarmed Black people over some damn weed, the worst they get is fired. Give me a break with this firing stuff. That's not enough at all. Nor will it ever be enough. Somebody just lose a job for murdering somebody. That don't seem like no good deal to me. But y'all, you know, my heart goes out to Marvin's family, his mother and father struggling to pull their lives together after losing him. That's a terrible thing. You know, this reminds me of Daniel Prude, you know, because they said they put a hood over his head. They did the same thing to Daniel Prude when they killed him. Nobody should be dead in detention that did not pose any threat to you. And, you know, many of these officers are not trained to deal with mental health. You know, they don't recognize it and they don't know what's wrong with these people when they have an episode. You know, and we're seeing this over and over too. We've seen this too many times. But y'all, please tell me what you think of this story. What a tragedy. They just put him to rest not even a day ago over what happened. You know, in Texas, you got a hell of a track record of doing this kind of stuff. You got a hell of a track record just alone in how you deal with Black people. And I remember listening to an attorney, and he was saying there are so many people sitting on death row in Texas that never committed a crime. It's not even funny. It is excessively bad there. And I heard this probably about 10 years ago, and I really believe it too. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.